Welcome to the post-match reaction of the Arsenal versus Manchester City game. Arsenal 0, Manchester City 0, or the other way around. Manchester City 0, Arsenal 0 at the Etihad Stadium. A very cagey affair, a very tentative affair. Arsenal allowed Manchester City to have full possession, tried to hit them on the counter-attack, but to no avail it was. But a point at the Etihad isn't the end of the world, and especially in this title race, which is going to be very, very close. I'm joined by Steve, Kay, and Melvin Marks. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, fine. Just going to take me heart tablets.
Yeah, very stressful for you then, Melvin.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be. I predicted that it'd be, we'd have a lot of possession, chill out. They get aggravated and take it from there. But it weren't to be. We just anyway talk about it later. But not the type of game I thought we'd play. But there we go.
I thought it would be a lot more open today. Steve, how did you think the game would go?
I thought it'd be exactly how it was. So, yes, I was a little bit different. I predicted a 1-0, so, for me, it was never going to be like a 2-2 or 3-3 or 4-1 or 3, something like what people were predicting. So, yeah, look, they cancelled each other out pretty much. And that's pretty much how I thought it would go. If our midfield was to get hold of their strike attacking players, and vice versa, City was to get hold of Arsenal, then they could cancel each other out, and basically that's exactly what it did. When you look at it over the 95 minutes, so. Yeah, it went exactly the way I thought it would. I thought both teams really give respect to each other. I felt for a long while, and this pleased me obviously, that Manchester United looked frightened of us. They looked scared at us. They didn't want to push too forward. They didn't go gung ho and. Like they do with a lot of teams. I've seen them go like that against Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal. They was like very, very wary, very, very cagey. And hence why they probably sort of stifled out our forwards. I was praying that, we got to a point in the match where I thought, look, these are for the taking. We can do these today. But I think Mikel Arteta went out there with a plan. He told them to play like the way they did, and that's the way it turned out. And I was happy with the point before, and I'm happy with the point now. So yeah, we move on. We move on to Luton next game, and yeah, I'm happy. I'm in a good place.
All right, Mel. Tough game for Arsenal. Do you think they could have created more? Do you think they should have been a bit more open? Should you think they would have taken to City a little bit more?
I thought we showed them too much respect. I thought we were trying to play like nick the game. I know 3 points would have been fantastic to play that way, but sorry, it's all right playing that type of defend for 89 minutes and get them on the break. But we didn't have very fast forwards. In all fairness, you're not going to have Havertz. He's not fast, is he? You're not going to suddenly do a breakaway goal with him. And Saka wasn't at the races today, and Jesus again. He's not. He didn't play wide anyway, did he? Really, only defensively. I thought we played the wrong game. I'm happy, delighted with a point now. Thinking about it, you dream. If your dreams don't come off, but part of it does, then at least it wasn't a nightmare. It could have been a nightmare today. Because I tell you something, had we lost today, even if they scored in the 93rd minute, had we lost 1-0, then for me, I know I sound a bit bearish. Because it's City, the title in my mind would have been over. There'd have been points ahead of us. I'll tell you why. There'd have been 2 points ahead of us, and everyone would be saying, you know what, City do at the end of the season. All they got to do, City, is do what they normally do. And whatever Arsenal do, it's irrelevant. Well, it's not irrelevant now. That's why today's result was so important, whether we can or we can't. Doesn't mean we can't. We still can win the league. But I think that had we got beat, it'd have been a 20% chance instead of now it's a 40% chance. I think it's a very, very big point we've done there, and mentally the players would have gone, here we go again. Whatever we do, we can turn up, score 84 goals. It's irrelevant. City, we all look have won again. all look have won again. Whereas if we're playing and beating our teams, we look at City, but it's not the end of the world if they do beat another team. Got to think about that as well. They're in a mix, obviously, they're top of the league. But anyway, I thought we played the wrong game. We showed them too much respect. And listen, what it would have been beautiful if we'd have beaten them. I said a 2-0 win. I predicted a 2-0 win for us. I thought not only we should beat them in goals, but beat them in football, show that we're on their level plus. And today we didn't show that, I'm afraid. We played like any other team that plays away to Man City. That's what we played like. I know we got very, very good players and we handled them very, very well, but we should be better than that. We should have been taking the game to them. We normally have 80%, 70% against teams. And we've done it against Man City a couple of times as well this season. Why couldn't we do it again? Or even 50-50, 60-40 would have settled for. Show that we're at their table. Let's show that we're prepared to eat as well. And we didn't do that today. But as I say, what a great result.
Yeah, a fantastic result. I think so. Well, you got to remember, though, you say, like, you know, I don't think we played like any other team that's gone to City. You know, this was the first time in 57 home games that they never scored. 57. Right? This is the first time they never scored.
You're right, Steve. But defensively, we were sound.
That is
a 5-minute period.
You can't go gung-ho against the mob. You can't.
When we couldn't get it out of our box. We just beat them a tackle in the box. We're about to clear it, and we mess it up, and they give it to them again. Then we get it back in the box. It looked like we wanted to give them a goal for 5 minutes of that game. But apart from that, defensively, we were superb. Our two centre halves are unbelievable. Very important they stay fit for the end of the season. Next 9 games in the league, obviously. Very, very important. But I still think, as well as we played defensively, and you've got to say, well done, we could have done more offensively, and we didn't. That's what's disappointing.
Could we say the same thing about Manchester City? Because they never give us any problems, did they? Haaland didn't do a thing. He was nothing. You know, he didn't even know
he was like a boxer tonight, Steve, wasn't he? He was boxing. He wasn't playing football.
Some of the dives he was doing was embarrassing. You know, I mean, look, he's a great player, Erling Haaland. There's no doubt about that. But some of the absolutely dives and the free kicks that they was trying to win.
I know they're babies.
They couldn't get through. They just could not. They couldn't get through. We had more shots than them as well.
Who's their number? Who's the midfield? The little guy.
Bernardo Silva.
Silva.
He did all right.
Silva. He got fouled. I must admit, a couple of times he got fouled, and he's crying to the ref. The amount of nasty little fouls he does as well. It's so. Anyway,
that's City's game. They're very intelligent here. They break up play when they're on the counter. They win fouls when the other team's on the counter. They do cute little fouls and they make sure they don't get yellow cards for it. They knew that the referee was going to keep the game flowing today. I think it was clear that was made clear. Wants the game to be played, and City will take advantage of that. So. That's just Manchester City. They're a very continental style playing team under Pep, and they've taken the dark arts and they use it when they can. So
I thought the referee kids had a really good game.
Really good game. I can't really complain about the referee. I know people will complain, but I think he tried to let the game flow as much as possible. Yeah. 75% possession for Manchester City, but only one shot on target for the team.
Exactly, mate. Yeah,
something you can definitely take away from this game.
That's called controlling a football match, Kears. That's how you control a football match against the best team in the world away from home. That's what you do. But I'll take a masterclass today for me, mate. I'll take a masterclass. Best team in the world. World class strikers, players everywhere on the pitch. Not scored at home for 57 games. Come away with a clean sheet. Masterclass for me. Masterclass. Yes, we could have done more up front, but we had chances. For me, we had chances where we could have scored. You know, but obviously there was someone especially probably should have put a few away. But it was just look, I'm happy. A point away to that's 4 points now off of City and 4 points off of Liverpool. You know, you offer me that at the beginning of the season, I'll snap your hand off.
Yeah.
So right. I'm in a good place at the minute, and bring on Luton.
All right, let's get to the player ratings. We'll start with you, Steve. David Raya in goal today.
Yeah, David, not his distribution weren't as good as what it has been. He seems to like, you know, he's kicking or he's throwing out. But I think that was a lot to do with the way Man City closed people down. They're one of the best at doing that in the league, probably next to us, and they put us under a lot of pressure. But at the end of the day, it never needed anything. I thought that was a decent save that he made from Aki. You know, even though I won't go. Yeah, no, I'll go. Maybe I'll say what I want to say at the end about a certain person. But yeah, other than that, did he have a save to make? Did he have anything to do for this fantastic City player? And I think that's just another sort of thing that we can, you know, we can congratulate our team on. That absolutely controlled the football match. I can't remember a shot he saved. So yeah, I'm going to give him, in the context of the game, I'll give him a 6.
6 for Raya. And for you, Melvin?
I'll give him 7. Didn't make them. I mean, the only mistakes, one cross he fumbled at a little bit, but apart from that, his distribution was poor. That's only a 7. Yeah, 7. Apart from that, didn't make any howlers.
William Saliba, Steve.
Yeah, William Saliba, a couple of started off. He was put under a lot of pressure, but he stayed strong. And he had a fantastic football game in the end. Yeah, I mean, as I said, like we've just mentioned there, that you know they never really had any chances. Man City, not certainly wasn't for anything that Saliba did wrong. So yeah, for me, he gets a 7.
7 for William Saliba. Melvin, William Saliba.
Saliba, I think you've got to give him a 9. Sorry, the guy is just unbelievable. He was against a juggernaut of a player today. I know they did it between them a little bit, him and Gabriel, but he knows he's on the ball. He didn't have the freedom as a centre half as he has normally, but he was at the right place at the right time, pushing the ball forward. I agree with you, Steve. Starting off, he got himself in a bit of a mess, especially on the touchline. But I think that was down to Raya's distribution as well a couple of times. But I just think that I'd rather we had to have him there. For us to get anything out of City away, this team, you've got to have Saliba there. And he stood up and he's 23 as well. I mean, this guy's amazing at 23, just turned 23, I think, last week. You know, against a City team like that, being pulled left, pulled right, long balls over, he was just there all the time. Read the game very well. As I say, wasn't that great going forward, but none of the team was. So yeah, I give him a 9. I love him.
9 for William Saliba from Melvin. Next up, his partner in crime, Gabriel Magalhaes. Steve, what are you giving him?
Again, mate, not for me. Wasn't mentioned hardly at all in the game, but for me, again, I have to say, I thought he was better than Saliba. I thought he was better. I thought he was the best out of the centre halves. Strong, you know, just people bouncing off of him. The way he controls, he's the captain at the back four there. There's no doubt about it. He's telling where to Saliba what to go, where to do, go forward, come back. He's talking into the centre forwards here. He's giving them a nudge when they need a nudge. He's passing out from the back was exemplary. You know, in the box, he's causing problems left, right, and centre. The guy is, for me, he's the best centre half in the Premier League at the moment, without any shadow of a doubt. Mm-hmm. 9. I just think 9's a bit high, you know, because we only drew the game. But it's I'll certainly give him an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, let's not forget that they did their job, kept clean sheet. 8 for Gabriel. Melvin, what are you giving Gabriel?
I don't think there's a lot to choose between the two centre halves. They work as a team. I'll give him a 9 as well. I just think he's fantastic. He's really, sometimes you think it's our captain if you didn't know our captain was on the pitch. He's like you say, Steve, he's shouting and screaming, pointing and cheering people up, winding the Oppo up. Yeah,
he loves that.
He does love a bit of that. So, no, I'd give him a 9 as well. Nothing between you. They're two centre halves. They didn't get. I don't think they had a clear-cut chance. And you've got to put that down. to our centre halves. Sorry,
Yeah, they
not
did. They did have
solely,
really good chance. I think
not solely, but
there was one from Aki where he got a flick on from a header, and that
yes,
was
that was the nearest. Yeah, that's not clear cut. I wouldn't put that down as clear cut.
Jakob Kiwior starting off at left back, Steve.
Yeah, look, he made a few mistakes, but and they were sort of like made aware of by that big donut of a flipping Manchester United commentator Gary Neville, who you're right, Kears, he should never commentate or co-commentate on an Arsenal match. The guy's an absolute dickhead, and you can feel the hate coming through the screen. But Kiwior for me, what did Phil Foden do today? Where was he? Where was he? When they took him off?
He only had one shot.
One shot.
Not like Phil Foden.
One shot. He went round him once. The other times he sussed him out. Got the better of him. And not forget, this bloke's just played 180 minutes in the midweek for Poland against Wales in a massive, European qualifier. And he's come out there and he's been absolutely brilliant today. As I say, he had Foden in his pocket, and in the end he had to take him off. And when he went off, I said, like, was you on the pitch today? And you've got to give Kiwior his credit for that. So for me, he gets an 8.
Kiwior gets an 8 from Steve. Melvin, what's Jakob Kiwior get for you?
Only a 7. I thought that he was really Silva. Tore him a few times on the right hand side. I thought it was the Silva that was making all the damage down the right hand side to start with. He got more into the game, Kiwior, as it went on, but just about a 7. He did one unbelievable thing, Kiwior, going forward. He set up a lovely attack for us. That was early on as well.
Yeah,
but
I remember that. Yeah,
amazing. It looked like a midfield player the way he was doing it. But excuse me. No, I think that 7's about right for him, in my opinion. 7.
All right, 7 for Kiwior. Ben White, right back, Steve.
Brilliant, absolutely best right back in the country at this moment in time. Yeah, Southgate, never mind, So, but long as he's at Arsenal, absolutely brilliant. Thought he was the most consistent player over the 90 minutes on the pitch. With one other. No, there's one other I'm going to put in that category as well. But yeah, he didn't put a foot wrong. He was dangerous coming forward. No, I don't think anybody got the better of him. So yeah, when you think Saliba got caught a couple of times, Ben White was probably, had them wingers running at him, and they never got a look in. Never got a look in through the whole match. So for me, mate, I was swooning over Ben White today. I really was. He gets a 9 for me.
All right, 9 from Steve. Melvin, Ben White.
Have to agree with Steve. 9. He did not put a foot wrong, and he was the reason I reckon that Foden went off. Because Foden
he was playing on the right.
No, Foden was on the left.
Was he?
Yeah, on the left.
I think they switched.
They did move around. I agree, but whoever played over there, Ben White had him in his pocket. He just did the right things, and he wasn't actually too rash with his challenges either. He was quite, which is good for him. He left a little bit in reserve today, Ben White, with the tackles. He didn't do anything silly, and did one fantastic run on the right, an overlap, which when he crossed it, I think, did it go to Jesus? I think, but he did more forward runs and crosses, I think, than Saka, who we'll come to later. But no, I thought 9. I mean, you've got to give our defence high marks for what they did today. You've got to.
Yeah, they stifled them, didn't they? They stifled them. Never got them
they frustrated him. Look at Haaland in the end with Gabriel when he's getting in his face, and then at the end he gave him sort of props for what looked like he was basically saying great defending throughout the game, kept him quiet. So fellow professional giving their props there. Declan
Kieran,
Rice.
can I just say something? Your lights seem to go out or something. Is it because behind you, the background is very bright and it's all. Is it my eyes? I don't know. What do you reckon, Steve?
Oh, I don't know. It's just a little bit. No, I can see him all right. Yeah.
I can't. All right, it just must be.
It's all right.
I'll put my glasses on. Hold on.
Declan Rice.
Oh, there you are. It's not so bad.
Declan Rice.
Mate, just. unbelievable. I just thought he was absolutely outstanding. Every time he got the ball, I was watching him. He just does what he does every week. It's just like I just have to click on what he does against like Burnley and Sheffield United. He just goes and does exactly the same thing against Liverpool and Manchester City. There's no difference. He's the same. He's incredible. The runs, the interceptions that he was doing. That little burst of pace where he was getting back into positions and winning the ball. Again, over the 90 minutes, Ben White and Declan Rice for me were the best players on the Arsenal pitch. I just thought there's no more words you can say about this guy. He literally, I'd like similar to like what I was saying about with Foden. Where was De Bruyne? What did he do? Where was he? The old man, the great Kevin De Bruyne, again pocketed by Rice. So, do you know what? It's not far off the perfect game for me. This away to Man City to play like at 10. I was going to give him a 9. Going 10. 10
for Steve for Declan Rice. Melvin, what you giving Declan Rice?
9. Not his fault. He didn't get a 10. It's because he wasn't allowed to do what he normally does. I felt like he had the reins on him a bit. It's the way we played. I don't know if the manager told the team to play that way.
I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think a 9. I can't give him a 10. But he wins. He seems to win so many challenges. So cleanly. Actually, it was a bit of a shock today. He actually fouled someone, which is, for a midfield player, he's so good. He's so strong and his timing's so right. And his football brain is so good. He knows when and how to tackle people at the right time. No, 9. Really. He is another leader we've got. An absolute diamond. 9.
No, he's been quality. One of the best signs of the season. He says, "Hey, Dad, Craig here. Happiest I've been at a draw in living memory. Big smile. We've matured." I think that's a very mature performance. I think the only thing we're missing today is that counter attack and then that taking a chance when you get it. It did seem like it was very playing it like a chess match today, and to go to the Etihad Stadium and to stifle Manchester City down to one shot on target, I think is very, very good and very, very impressive. His midfield partner, Jorginho, Steve.
Yeah, he just like did the job, didn't he? He done the numbers job just perfectly. A little bit sloppy at times. I'm going to give him a 7.
7 for Jorginho. Melvin, what are you giving Jorginho?
It's a difficult one, really, because I don't know whether he did his job and I didn't notice it, or I didn't notice him at all. I forgot he was playing, to be quite honest with you, for the first 30 minutes.
Sometimes that's a good thing for your 6, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but I don't know whether. But that's what I said, Steve. It's a difficult one. For me. He was quietly doing his job, or he just wasn't doing anything.
Oh, we're taking.
Was the game, passing him by? He did another couple of fantastic forward balls. I'm going to give him a 7 as well, actually.
Yeah.
It wasn't his best game, but then again, it wasn't the type of game that we normally play. So I'll give him a 7 as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, look, I mean, we're going into like our attacking players now, who wasn't allowed, or whether it was because of what our manager told them to do, which I think it was, and obviously because of the opposition who we were playing. You're not going to get 1,000 chances a game when you're playing against arguably the best team in the world. So, but for work rate, and what he did off the ball, he was fantastic. Obviously, we didn't get, as I said, we didn't get much going up front. But what he did do, he was neat, he was tidy. Couple of times he played the balls into the lines well for players to run on, and sometimes there was a little bit overhit, and other times it was because of like other players not reading his pass. But yeah, I say it was a game with not many chances, but I'm still going to give him a good 7. It was a good 7 from Martin Odegaard.
7 for Martin Odegaard. Melvin, what are you giving Odegaard?
Yeah, he was that much away from getting an 8 or a 9 from me, because, as you say, Steve, he'd done a couple of passes that weren't quite just right. That could have been match-winning passes.
Yeah.
And he did actually do some passes were like 2 or 3 away from an opportunity, which we don't talk about because it's not the last one. I want to give him a 7. Nearly got an 8 or 9 from me because he never stopped running, and he what I thought was quite brave from him. Apart from once, I thought he kind of let the player have the ball. Put it that way, was Rodri. I thought he challenged Rodri the whole time. Every time Rodri, he was the first one to get stuck into Rodri, and you got he's half the size of him. Remember? I thought he did very, very well, closing him down and don't let him have too much time on the ball. Because Rodri is what a class player that is one of those players that always seems to make time on the ball.
Do you think Declan Rice said hello, Rodri, today? Excuse me, I'm here.
Sorry, why? No, I don't get it.
Well, we keep getting told that Rodri's better than Rice, and did Rice go to his own pitch today and was he the better player? Was he better than?
I think today, Rice was better.
Yeah,
because Rice had a lot more work to do. Rodri was in the team that was going forward, and it was much easier for him to pick up the ball, plenty of space, and pick his passes. Whereas when Rice got the ball, he had not a lot of support in midfield because we're on the defensive. He didn't have a lot of opportunity to give it to other players. So just on that, Rice,
yeah.
All right, very, very quiet from this past day. Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, yeah, he was anonymous, weren't he? Look, let's start off with the positives. I think he did work really hard today. Again, similar to Odegaard, he he's getting back. Trying to help Ben White. I think he did that well. Sometimes what frustrated me about Saka today, he would run back and at times he would win the ball, but he hasn't got that pace to get away from players a lot. He seems to get caught a lot when he's got caught in his own half. He's okay when he's up in the attacking area, right? And he's got that quick little pace over like a yard where you go bosh, 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 and he's gone. And he's round you and he puts the ball in his right or left foot and he shoots and it's a goal. And you're like, what happened there? Very quick on that. But when he's over 5 yards, I think he needs to get on this track a bit more because he's a little bit slow and gets caught. But his work rate, I thought, was really, really good. I thought he helped Ben White, and so that he would get a good mark for that. But up front, he wasn't like Martin Odegaard, for instance, today, where when he got on the ball, you was like, well, he did a little bit of trick and he played the ball through, and there was none of that from Saka today. So, yeah, it's got to be a 5.
5 for Saka. Melvin, what are you giving Saka?
Yeah, he didn't do well today. He didn't change his style at all or position on the pitch. I thought he could have come inside a few more times, receiving the ball inside rather than hug the touchline, because it suited their defenders that he did hug the touchline. They could like box him in. But and when he did get away and cut inside a couple of times, they just chopped his legs away, didn't they? I mean, he's lucky to get a foul against him, let alone anything else. But no, he wasn't at the races today.
I'll tell you what a big part of his game, Milv, I think, a big part of Saka's game is that, when we are on the front foot for longer periods of time, Odegaard's able to get forward to more, Rice is able to get forward to more, and obviously, and he's got that help over there on the right hand side, and he's able to do that little trick that we love to see where he does that 1-2 quick pass. He's gone and he's round the defender, cuts inside, bash, goal. Do you know what I mean? We see him do it 4 or 5 times in a game. But again, that wasn't it wasn't the right game for Bukayo today.
Having said that, he did one cross into the box. I think it was, I can't remember if it was the first or second half, and it was that much away from our forward. Was it when Jesus come flying in? Did you remember the far post? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I remember.
I mean, I don't know whether that was a cross that wasn't 100% or Jesus didn't get there quick enough. Anticipate. But it's fine margins, as we know, gentlemen. It's fine margins. Had that gone in, it would have said he had not a great game, but good old Saka. Look what he's done. So it's a bit unlucky there, I think, because that was he did a nice move, and at the end of it, it could have been the winner. But there we go. It's a big word, isn't it?
What are you giving him?
6.
6 for Saka. I thought it was very quiet. yeah, it was a frustrating game for him. I agree with Steve. He could have done a bit more in terms of getting in and cutting in a bit more. It does feel like sometimes when he's having a quiet game, games do become a bit predictable. So it's just another thing that he needs to start learning and sort of mix it up a bit. But again, this is a Man City team with yes, they had Stones and Walker out, but to be able to replace them with Ake and Akanji and Vardiol shows how strong their squad is. I know Kevin did mention they don't have a big squad, but it's the quality they do have with the players they've got on the bench or in reserve that separates them from the rest. Gabriel Jesus starting on the left today, Steve. Something you said you would have done yourself.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? He frustrated me a bit today, Kiz. Yeah. Again, coming. Well, maybe this was a game where he had to come deep, but yeah, silly fouls again. I don't know why he does this diving thing all the time. You know, keep trying to get free kicks in our own half. You're going to get a free kick. Try and get it up, in the attacking third, not like Dan. And then it's not even a free kick. And then he loses possession a couple of times, and then Man City go on the attack. And I'm like, you know, I was screaming at the telly, and I think like my missus and my mother-in-law was like looking at it, thinking, "What's he on about?" You know, but he frustrated me today. I'm afraid. I don't know. You know, it'd be good to hear what you two guys think, but yeah, when he got the ball into the tie two or three times, I thought he scuffed at his shots. I thought he took too much time over it. And even when he did get the shots away, they was very, very pad a puff. And then he got a silly booking. Yeah, come on, Gabriel, mate. You two guys might see it differently. But I thought he was poor today. I thought he was poor. Yeah. I'm tempted to give him a 4 because I think Saka was better, but I'm going to give him a 5. I'm going to give him a 5.
All right, 5 for Gabriel Jesus. Melvin.
Yeah, I don't think he played. He didn't think today. I think he left his brain somewhere.
Yeah.
First of all, yeah, doing silly fouls, like Steve says, putting us under pressure, if you like, with those fouls, because you know what City like, getting those crosses into the box.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's number one. Number two, the chance he had in the very first half, very early on, where he was at the far post, the ball came to him, and he decided at the angle he was at to hit it with his right foot, where you could only scuff it to the near post, which is exactly what he did. He should have had a left foot. So that would have opened the whole goal up for him if he kicked it with his left foot. It may not be as accurate with his left foot as his right, but give it a go. You got to, to win a raffle, buy a ticket. I mean, he had no chance of scoring with his right foot. No chance at all. Also, how many times must he stop, go again, instead of just shooting and getting a shot on target? He stops, he turns, he feints to go one way, then goes the other. Brilliant. The guy's on the floor. Another defender comes, but you've got space to shoot and time to shoot. No, he wants to do that as well. You've got to stop doing that. You've got to, again, have a shot. You're in the box. There's a few defenders around you. Still have a shot. Also, the spooking he got. Give me a break. What's all that about? What was he trying to prove? He deserved to get taken off, not because of his performance, because of just that alone, he should have been taken off, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was saying
poor. Absolutely. What you do not want against Man City is to play with 10 men, all right? And he gave them half an opportunity to play with 10 men. Please, play for the team. That was stupid, absolutely stupid. And he's lucky he never got booked before that, but don't get booked for a stupid flick the ball away incident. Please have a bit of self-control, self-discipline, and other things he was doing. He wasn't doing much. He never got past anybody. His feet looked quite fast a couple of times when he got it turned, flicked it inside. Oh, that's lovely. But for me, didn't contribute at all, really. I thought he could have had 1 or 2 a day. I really do. If he is the player that we know he can be, he should have had 1 or 2 today. But perhaps he is still a bit rusty. I don't know. So I'm giving him. Sorry, I'm giving you a 5, please, for me, Kieran.
All right.
Go on, Keith.
No, I didn't think he was worse than Saka. I thought Saka was very, very quiet. I thought Jesus, although frustrating, I thought he was a lot more lively than Saka.
Yeah,
It did feel like he was going at the defenders a lot more than Saka. Yes,
yeah.
he did get those shooting opportunities a couple of times, and he made the wrong decision. I think it's hard to say it's down to him not playing many games in the last month. I think he's played 45 minutes in the last month after coming back from injury. So, yeah, he's definitely rusty. You can see that. A little bit too eager at times, and especially against his former club, Man City. So I think that definitely played into to wanting to make a difference, and also that yellow card, which was a silly yellow card. I'd have probably given him a 6. So it's not really that much different.
Actually, that's fair. Though, I think is more I think about it, when you think Saka just did off of nothing, didn't he? I think I'm probably going on Jesus, the frustration of like doing silly, stupid things and giving fouls away and booking sort of has clouded my mind on the fact that he did do more in the attacking third than Saka. So really, it should even itself out. I suppose.
I can't. I think the header that he had, was it his header? What he put over or wide or whatever it was, and it was Saka across the goal. We should have put it with his left, and he went with his right or whatever it was. Yeah, I think that was Saka's ball in. So, but yeah, no, it was frustrating. It was frustrating. Yeah, the front three didn't really do much for me. Some holding up play, which was all right, but I mean, we need more than that. We need to stretch Man City, and we need to put it on the keeper, create some chances that are actually going to test the keeper. Kai Havertz up top.
Yeah, look, again, I sort of, excuse me, I'd say his performance today was a little bit similar to Jorginho's in the other end of the pitch. He, he wasn't as involved as much as in the game as he has been in recent weeks. His hold-up play was all right at times. His passing was okay at times, but he just didn't seem to be getting a lot of the ball. I can't remember him getting too many touches on the ball. When he did, it tended to be balls played back to sort of Declan Rice or Jorginho or someone, whether that was because Jesus and Saka weren't doing what they were supposed to do. But he didn't do nothing wrong today, Havertz, apart from the fact that, as far in the attacking sense of getting a few shots off and playing some balls through, he didn't really do that. Other than that, I can't think of him really having I can't say he had a bad game or did anything wrong. Same as Jorginho. So I'm going to give Kai a 6 today.
6 for Havertz. Melvin, Havertz.
Gets a 5 for me. He didn't really. And we got a couple of balls in the air, but they weren't actually going anywhere. And I don't think he actually closed people down like he's done in the past, which he's been superb at. I think he just wasn't involved today. I'm not blaming him 100%, but he didn't try anything different. He won, as I say, won a couple of balls in the air, just got his head to it. I don't think he really contributed a lot. But then again, forwardly, none of them did they? No, true. I'm going to give him a 5. Give him a 5.
5 for Havertz. Martinelli came on the left. No, was he starting
on the right? Came on the right.
Came on the right.
Right.
Yeah, I thought he looked lively when he came on. He didn't really get much. As I say, everything that was going on was mostly up the other end. But yeah, he looked sharp for me without really doing anything. But looking at the way he was running and moving, I thought he looked like he wanted the ball. So for a substitute, give him a 6.
All right, 6 for Gabriel Martinelli. Melvin.
Yes, I agree. He did look lively, but he wasn't on that long, so you can't really make a real judgment. But so it's nice to see him, on the pitch, because he looked more dangerous those 15 minutes he was on them than a lot of the other forwards. I'll give him a 6, nearly a 7. I'll give him a 6 because it wasn't long enough on the pitch.
All right. On from the left for Jesus. Trossard. For me, that chance at the end where he could have potentially put through Martinelli early. Trossard's got that in his locker as well. I was thinking outside the boot. How many times have we seen Trossard whip one from outside the boot? Early ball. But he opted to go on his own. Got off a shot on target, but it was just never really going to beat the keeper from that angle. Steve, Trossard, when he came on?
Big moment, mate. What a moment that was. He only had to play it across.
Yeah.
He was, a lot, let's face it, he was greedy.
Yeah.
He was greedy, and he basically made a total cock up of the chance anyway. I mean, didn't he? In the end, he couldn't even get his shot away properly. You see Mikel Arteta on the touchline, absolutely furious. And I was shouting at this. When he got the ball in that position, I looked across and I see Martinelli. I was just like, get it across. And when he did what he did, I was like, I can't believe it. That was the moment. That was the moment. That only has to go across. That's it. That's 1-0. We get 3 points. He'll know. Look, he'll know. He'll be disappointed that he did do a nice little move when he first come on. Nice little touch that took him around the right back and he sent himself away. That was nice. But 4 for me. Big moment that should have crossed it to him.
For Trossard, Melvin Trossard. He
was going for gold, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's greedy, mate. He's greedy.
Yeah, very greedy. That is not what a winner should be going for. You play for your team. You don't play for yourself. All right? They say some of the best strikers in the world are selfish. Yeah, but they know when it's not to be selfish. I don't think that's in his locker at the moment. I'm like you, Steve. Very disappointed with him, even though he did a nice little touch around the corner and all that business to get down the wing. I'm going to give him, not too much disrespect, I'm giving him a 5.
5 for Trossard. Yeah. We saw Thomas Partey coming again for a fair few minutes, Steve. Thomas Partey.
Yeah, he did all right. He come on and he slotted into that number 6 where Jorginho to give us a little bit more legs. I had my eyes on him like an hawk when he got the ball. I was going to say, like, come on, this is how good your passing's got over. Is it better in? And he had. I don't remember him when he did get the ball. He played some nice balls. Actually, did play some very nice balls through the centre of the pitch and sent whoever it was away a couple of times. I think it might have been Odegaard. I think he did. I think he did well. I've been really critical of Thomas Partey in the recent times. But to be fair with him, he's had an injury. But this could, he could be really important going forward. And I was really pleased for him. And I thought he did well. I thought he might come on. We needed someone like him. He's big, strong. You stick someone like. You see our bench today. It was unbelievable. Do you? That bench was that bench is better than Man United's first team. Well, I'll tell you, it is. That bench would beat Man United's first team. That's how trash they are. But there you go.
Or as good we are. Yeah.
That's for another show probably. Which I'll try not to mention. But there you go. I might. But yeah, he done well. He gets a substitute 7. Well done. A substitute 7. Done well when he come on.
Melvin, Thomas Partey. Good to have him back.
It's a bit sad when you see him play.
Because he's going to go at the end of the season.
You know what we're missing? When you see he's so silky, pushing those balls through spaces none of us can see. Very, those forward balls in the middle just cuts midfields open. Yeah. But against that is, I think, De Bruyne had the ball on the left touch line and he just went. He didn't have the legs.
Yeah, I see that. I remember that. Yeah.
And with all due respect, De Bruyne ain't the fastest footballer this side of the Mississippi. And he just went. He looked like I don't know if his legs have gone or he's just not up to. He's not fit enough yet. But it's a shame because he is such a good, classy footballer. He's one of those players that you're happy to pay money to watch. And like you say, Steve, if he can suddenly get slightly more with it, he'd be a great boon to our team in the last 9 league games. absolutely.
9 games
I'll
left
give
still.
him. I can't give him a 7. I can't give him a 7 because he wasn't on the pitch long enough. But I'm giving him a 6, a good 6. I'm giving him a good 6.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
it
I
was a
agree.
sub.
I think some of our fringe players, some players like Jorginho, players like Thomas Partey, are going to have something to say in our running towards the end of the season. We didn't have these players available last season. We didn't have Saliba. We didn't have Partey. Jorginho and Trossard were new to the team, so and now we've got Rice. So we are. I think we're definitely in a better position. We've come out at the end of the season. Well, not the end of the season yet, but out of all the big games, we've taken 4 points off of Manchester City and Liverpool, and we've
So
come
we
out both times a little bit disappointed in that. And that's something we haven't been close to that sort of conversation in years. So it just showed a massive progression that we've made. Tomiyasu, Steve.
Yeah, I did think. I thought he struggled at times when he first came on. I thought Doku sort of like went round him a couple of times, but as the game went on, he started to get into it a bit more. He looks a lot more. You know, as the game started to come on, we seemed to be a lot more attacking down that left hand side. Mm-hmm. And he got forward a couple of times. I think he won us a couple of corners actually from him going forward. So yeah, he did all right. So yeah, bit shaky at times, but Doku's he's a lot more fitter than Tomiyasu's. Not had much game time. But yeah, he did all right. 6. Never did anything wrong.
6 for Tomiyasu. Melvin, Tomiyasu.
Tomiyasu, when he gave that corner away, when he completely miskicked the ball, I thought, what is going on? And then he did another bad pass. I reckon the oil they gave him before the game didn't go through him properly because he's
it was
so
just
rusty.
sitting around the joints. And then
he wasn't quite there, but all of a sudden he got there exactly. He went through, and all of a sudden this is better. I feel a bit better now because, as you say, as the game went on, he looked like the old Tommy. So but that first 5 minutes he was on, it looked like he
looked a bit shaky, didn't he?
He'd never played the game before. Am I allowed to kick it or am I head it? What do I do? But no, he did get better. I'm going to give him. And I love Tommy. He's a brilliant player. I love him. If he's fit all the time, Tommy's a phenomenal player. I think today, give him a 5, just about a 5.
5 for Mel. The thing with Tomiyasu, I think he's a player that I think you can kind of predict his comebacks. I'm more surprised if Tomiyasu comes back from a long layoff and hits the ground running. It's usually for me a game where he's a little bit rusty, and then the next time you see him, he smashes it, and he's Mr. Consistent. So I wouldn't be surprised if whenever we see Tomiyasu come in next, we will see the old Tomiyasu that has been phenomenal since he signed for the club. Mikel Arteta, Steve.
I thought it was a masterclass for me. I thought he managed the game, perfectly. I said at the beginning of the show that I was more than happy at a 0-0. I'm sure he was more than happy at, the way we set up from the off. We never give. I thought although Man City had a lot of the ball, I never felt like games of the past where I was frightened of them or I thought they was going to score. To me, they never looked like scoring through the whole game, and I think you've got to give Mikel Arteta his props for that for setting the team up. Obviously, we never was that potent going forward. We've already mentioned that, but personally, I don't think it was a game where you was going to probably get many chances. I think it was a game where all the defences were always probably going to get the better of each attack, and then that's sort of how it panned out. Mm-hmm. So for me, we didn't win the game, so I can't give him a 10. But for me, that's a big point. And we'll see at the season how big it is. That's 4 points off of City, 4 for Liverpool now. So I'm giving him for a draw. It seems strange, but a 9 because it was against Man City.
All right, 9 from Mikel Arteta from Steve. Melvin, what are you giving Mikel Arteta?
Well, it's another difficult one for me because I think game management from the kickoff onwards, brilliant. The substitutions were right at the right time, perhaps. I thought he did the right changes. Everything was fine. I could give him an 8, most certainly. But was it his idea for us to sit back and hit him on the break, or was it just the player's idea? Because if it was his idea, then I'd give him a 6 or a 7. But if it wasn't, it's just the way the game played out, then I'd give him an 8. So let's give him a 7 then in between.
Yeah. I think they're going to listen to him. I don't think they're going to do
Unknown.
something that they're not going to do something that you don't want them to do. So you've got to go to Man City with a plan.
No, but he might have
So
said,
you're
let's
not
go.
gonna-
Yes, go to a plan. Say he turned around to them and said, right, let's go. We can take this mob. Let's do them. Forget that we're away. Let's go out there and do them at their own game. Let's get at least 70% of the ball. Let's peg them back, blah, blah, blah. Well, just because he said that, perhaps it wasn't possible against his team to do it on the day. So that's really not really his fault. You don't know. But if he told them to do that, then they would obviously have done that. So I'm not too sure.
I'm going to say it shows how far we've come that we're having a conversation at the end of this game that it does come across like we're a little bit disappointed that we've drawn away to Man City.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nil-nil, and it was 0-0, and we didn't concede, and it's even a step up in the progression from the last draw that we got against Manchester City, which was 1-0, and now it's 0-0. So we are getting there. Progressions are being made. It was such a big ask. I know people made a lot of, if it's a draw, it's going to play more into Liverpool hands, but it's such a big ask to go to Manchester City and try and get a victory there. Liverpool, the team that's sitting at the top, didn't do it. That no one's done it since 2021. It's crazy, and this is the first time in even longer that no one's conceded against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. So yeah, I think it's a good result. I said it. I thought it was going to be a draw. I did think it was going to be a 1-1 draw, but a draw nevertheless. So yeah, look, it was important that we didn't drop points today. We're still only 2 points behind Liverpool. I think they're going to drop points. I still think Man City will drop points towards the end of the season. So it's more about us being consistent and making sure we're there to take advantage.
I think another thing is that now we've got Man City and we've got Liverpool out there. Man, our hardest games now, Man United and Tottenham away, right? Now, look, if you take this game into context today, the way we played against Man City, where you think they never got looking, and although they had a lot of the ball, I just felt all the day we managed it pretty well. And I think that's like, as far as sort of like off the ball, we had control. I don't think there's a better team in the Premier League, maybe in Europe, working off the ball than Arsenal. What they do off the ball. So me going there into Man City, United and Tottenham, if I wasn't confident playing against those two teams anyway, you've got to be massively confident even more now. The fact that we've stopped Man City after they've all just scored 57 goals on the Etihad, and we're the first team to stop them.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a plus. It's got to be a plus.
No, it's definitely a plus. It's definitely a plus. Any final thoughts today after the victory? After the victory, the draw, Steve? No. Very pleased with the draw. Really proud of the boys. Fantastic defensive performance. Fantastic defensive midfield performance. Stifled the best team in the country. They never really looked like scoring on their own pitch, which they keep telling us is their fortress. I think if anybody's come out, winners at the end of that game, even though it was a draw, it's Arsenal and not Man City. And I keep telling people the goal difference. That goal difference, right, is a point. That goal difference is a point because Liverpool have only got to drop a point or lose a game, and we do the same, and we win our games. We're above them. We go above them. So it was a massive game. We didn't go there get beat 2-3-0 like we did last year. For me, it's a massive point, and I'm over the moon. I know we could have done more going forward, but I would have snapped your hands off at the beginning of the game. But now, look, we move on now. Now we've got Bayern Munich. We can take Bayern Munich. If we can get something out of Man City at the Etihad, best team in the world, we can go to Bayern Munich. This is what the players should be thinking of now. Do you know what I mean? We can get something at Man City. Bayern Munich, who are they? Man United, who are they? Tottenham, who are they? We've just played the best team in the world with the best striker in the world with the best attacking midfielder and sort of given them absolutely nothing. Yeah,
So come on, bring it on.
We do have to take
Bring it on.
encouragement from that. We do definitely
Absolutely.
have to take encouragement.
100%.
I totally agree. And Melvin, any final thoughts on today's game and the point that we got?
No, it's just a very hard fought point that, as Steve said, could be very important going forward. But I just think morally, to keep the boys' spirit up, it was so important we didn't lose today. So important, because as I say, to see Liverpool be 3 points ahead of us after we got beat, I think it would have been, and City would have been 2 points ahead of us. No, I wouldn't have fancied it at all. I think it just, the shoulders would have dropped a little bit. So no, very, very important point today. And
but we never lost, mate. We never lost.
Oh no, so that's what I'm saying. It's so important.
We never lost.
So, no.
Yeah, very, very important. Very important not to drop too many points today. A point at the Etihad Stadium. Arsenal's progression is still very much there, still very much in the title race, although people will try to drop us off as much as they can and any opportunity they can. The knives were out, the vultures were out, ready to crucify Arsenal and write off their season if they were to drop points, if they were to lose today and draw at the Etihad. Arsenal will keep on fighting until the end. Quickly go to the comments section. Henty says, we left a lot on the field today. Now that the fixtures are piling up, Arteta's challenge is to use his squad well, starting with Luton on Wednesday. Arguably need 9 wins from 9 now, lads. That's fine margins we're dealing with. Again.
No.
I do feel. I don't think Liverpool are going to go for the end of the season unbeaten, and I don't think Manchester City will. So yeah. Look, I feel like there's an air of disappointment, but please, you got to remember the team that we were up against today has not lost.
If you're neutral today, Kears. If you're neutral today and you're watching this game neutral, you've watched the Liverpool game earlier on. Yeah. Again, look, they got over the line, well done to them, but they wasn't impressive at all.
No, they weren't, and they went 1-0 down behind as well. They conceded a lot of chances, they conceded goals, Liverpool. So again, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Liverpool will go through the season without dropping points. I feel like they will. I feel like Manchester City will drop points as well. So I think it's going to be a very much up and down. And there's going to be a few different people in that top spot before the end of the season.
Although with
we got to the hour mark when Steve's I was there.
Right, by saying we're the best team in the Premier League at the moment, we've gone up another notch. By saying that we are, because before this we said that Arsenal are the best team in the country at the moment. I think even though we've gone into second place, I think neutrals will be watching that and thinking, well, now they've gone to City and ain't got beat, and City never got a look in. As a neutral, I'd be looking at that, saying to myself, bloody hell, Arsenal, But a lot of other people are saying, Arsenal got to win 9 out of 9, and I think we should be looked as a real big danger.
I think that basically all we got. I think don't worry about 9 games, because you can't. There's too much to take in. We live to fight another day, and that's so important. So I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, Gabba said he's not disappointed at all. Brilliant result. Just don't see Liverpool dropping much. That's a fair assumption. That is all we have time for. Thank you very much for everyone who's joined in today. A lot of comments in there. Thank you very much, Russ, Hente, David, or Craig /Craig. And Galbo as well. We appreciate all your comments. We appreciate if you smash that like as well, smash that subscribe button if you are new to the show, and hit that share button because it does make a difference. Thank you very much for joining us today, Melvin.
Thanks thank you. I'm settled down a bit more now. I was uptight before, then I was absolutely kicking every ball. I'm just relaxed now and have a nice evening now. Thank you, gentlemen.
You can enjoy the rest of your weekend. Steve, I knew Steve was going to join us just here. That's why I waited. Steve, thank you for joining us today.
Cheers, mate. Pleasure.
All right. Make sure you join us for every Tuesday for the Arsenal show. Make sure you join us Monday for the Super 6 podcast. They're big fun as well. Hit that subscribe button. Peace out. Stay safe. and wash your hands. Oh, there we go.